Hey everyone, this is Steve Kick, mortgage loan officer with LMCU, also a member of the West Side chapter leadership team with the MMLA. I'm here bringing you the very first episode of the MMLA podcast. Before we really get into your introduction, Jen, I wanted to tell a little story. I had Jennifer Peachman here with me from Lenders One. Hi, Jen.
Hey everyone, please call me Jen. Yeah, I don't know who that Jennifer is, but Jen Peachman. That's what everyone
I
knows
want
me as.
I wanted to make sure that I ask you that question. You know, we're gonna approach this as if nobody knows who you are or knows us. So, perfect. So, Jen, that's what we'll call you. And I have a little story I want to share before we really get into your story and what you have going on, and you kind of explaining what you do for the MMLA and also for your company. Um, I've been involved loosely, I'd say, with the MMLA since I started 12 years ago. And um, the first thing and the first person that I can actually remember about the MMLA and meeting someone outside of my organization was you. You're the
Aw,
first person that I can remember. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something. You were at a Christmas party, MMLA Christmas party. I believe that's what it was. And you were in town in West Michigan. Uh, and I just remember your energy and everyone was hanging out with you. And I was like, I need to know this person. And I've seen you at lots of events here and there,
yeah.
and you always bring great energy and a smile and laughter, and everyone knows you. That's a part of the MMLA and a part of this industry. So I just wanted to share that story with you, Jen, because it's pretty cool that I get to interview you on this podcast, knowing that you're the first person that I remember from the MMLA.
Well, that makes my little mortgage heart like super swell in size because I tell you what, there's a few things that are super important to me. And one, it's, what I do at Lenders One. And two, it's the Michigan Mortgage Lenders Association. And three, it's relationships, right? Like people are at the heart of our industry and it's such a big part of my business and what I do. And, it's funny. I remember my first MMLA event. It was actually at Ford Field. I was
When
kind
was
of new
this?
to the Michigan Mortgage Lenders Association. I had some clients that were attending, and shout out to Todd Potter and Allison Johnson. I was kind of chasing them to get to know them better as they were one of my clients. And
Sure.
the rest is history. I mean, I started off just kind of checking out events and then started getting more involved, whether it was like the golf outing in the Southeast chapter or, the annual awards banquet and the conferences, and ended up joining up. And funny story, I'm not even from Michigan. I'm an Ohio gal. So it's funny. I mean, I'm the representative Buckeye in the Michigan Mortgage Lenders Association. And,
Boo.
I know, boo, right? But I'm a
Go blue.
landowner in Michigan, so technically it counts, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess
anyway,
so.
yeah, I mean, over the years, really, I've gotten more involved. I'm on the Southeast Chapter Leadership Board, and I'm actually this year's 2024 Annual Lending Conference chair. So got
Ooh.
involved with that committee a couple of years ago, and Joanne suckered me into leading it for this year, and super excited. So excited to be your first guest too.
I wouldn't say that she started you into it because I know you're enjoying it and you're gonna do a
You
great
know,
job. So
it's hard to say no to Joanne, especially when she asks you in person. I was really I kind of conference for a big part of what I do for my job. So, I see what really works in the industry and at different events, and have a lot of friends in the industry at the national level that we're going to be bringing into Boyne Mountain this summer. So it kind of all works together, and I'm super excited. So yeah,
yeah, before we get into talking about the conference,
yeah,
let's get into talking about Jen Peachman.
sure,
First and foremost, before we talk about what you do for a profession,
yeah,
give us a little bit of, share with us what you will
yeah.
about your life or your why or, what you do or what, some personal things maybe that people might not know about you.
Yeah, it's always interesting to find out how people got into the mortgage industry, right? So I am an industry veteran back since when I was in college. I actually took an internship back in the early 2000s at National City Bank as a summer intern. Kind of, I was faxing disclosures. Like that's how long I've been in the industry. There was about 12 of us.
Really?
I was the only one that was hired on full time. So while I was going to school full time, I was working full time as well, and kind of ground up in the mortgage industry, right? I've held almost every job in operations. Was at National City Bank for about 10 years. They were acquired by PNC, and then have spent some time at a community bank. I've done some recruiting for an IMB. I've been in the cooperative space as well as the vendor space. So I like to say I've done almost every job in the industry other than being LO and be an underwriter. So, I'm one of those girls that fell in love with the mortgage industry at a very young age, and I really give it up to National City Bank. I probably got that gig or that opportunity because my dad worked there, right? Not in mortgage, but helped me get my resume to the top of the stack, and went through a 6-week training course that was kind of soup to nuts and advanced rather quickly. And, along the way have made a lot of connections, and a lot of relationships that I think kind of speak to what I do. As I said, I'm from Ohio. I am born and raised in a little small town about 20 miles west of Cleveland called Avon Lake. I'm married for, it'll be 20 years next year. I have 2 teenage daughters that
Awesome.
make me go crazy, that I love. They are my why. My little peaches come before anything else. Um, I'm an avid golfer, so I actually played golf in college. I was the
Ooh,
first girl golfer to get a scholarship to play golf out of high school. And it's super cool because my oldest is actually going into her senior year. She's going to be captain of the same golf team that I started way back when. And hopefully she'll want to follow in my footsteps and do a golf scholarship too. So we'll see. So I'm all about family. I'm all about relationships and mortgage lending and my kids and anything else I can fit into that. I'm really into traveling and hiking and yoga, and outside of that, I don't have
ooh.
much more time in my day.
I'm a yogi too, so
I know.
shout out on that. Um, but hey, awesome talking about your girls and just like blazing the trail that you have and setting something an example for your girls. Uh, it's inspiring as a dad of 2 girls. It's always amazing to see great moms and great examples of women in business. So I appreciate what you're doing, not only for yourself but for the future generation. So thanks for being a great role model. Yeah, so thanks for sharing this stuff with you personally. I think it's great to get to know people on a more personal level. That's how we create relationships. That's how we build relationships, and that's I think ultimately what MMLA is all about, right? Is creating those relationships. So, but on that note, what do you do professionally? Tell us what
Yeah.
Lenders One does and what you do for them, and how you fit into the whole mortgage industry.
Yeah, so officially my title is National Director of Origination Sales at Lenders One. I actually just celebrated my 1-year anniversary at L1 last week. So essentially what
Nice.
I do is I serve as the account manager for about 40 plus lenders all across the country, community banks, credit unions, and independent mortgage banks that are a part of our network. We offer a ton of products and savings through our preferred providers, as well as our own proprietary solutions. Lots of networking opportunities like executive roundtables and bi monthly calls for our members. And really, I'm looking to grow membership. So I have an assigned territory, really, everything west of Colorado, except for Hawaii for some reason, is mine, that I
Okay.
cover. And then I'm also recruiting members nationally. So a few members that just joined us out of Washington and Indiana, some really great members kind of all across the country that I've known over the years that are really looking to be a part of an organization where we try to leverage the power of our community to provide discounts and savings to our members. So it's been a fun ride. We're essentially what I would call kind of the original cooperative in the mortgage industry. And our goal is really to provide ROI to our members through membership, through discounts and savings. We're our own credit reporting agency. We have our own flood products, and we just want L1 insurance, kind of an insurance marketplace for a lot of our members who their borrowers are struggling to get insurance. So, multiple facets of what we do at Lenders One, and a number of members based out of Michigan. And it's kind of the coolest job in the industry, in my opinion. What I kind of consider myself is the industry connector, right? I'm trying to connect my members with other members who maybe are looking at a similar technology solution that they're vetting, or, connecting with them with other members to get advice on a problem or an issue that they're experiencing, and then connecting them to our providers to see how they can make the most out of their membership and get all the savings that they're entitled. So a lot of our members are gearing up for free complimentary CE that we offer to our members every year. It's a huge savings, and that's what we'll be launching next month. So all of our members, LOs, can knock out that NMLS CE for free. So a
Very
lot
cool.
of things that we offer, and we're big supporters of the Michigan Mortgage Lenders Association for sure.
Well, great. I think at this point, you probably should talk a little bit about Bridge to Success, which is Boyne Mountain. There you go,
Yeah,
representing right there. So,
representing.
the annual lending conference is coming up, Jen. I'll let you maybe take the reins here since
Yeah.
you're the chair, and let us know what's going on at the sales conference.
Yeah, Joanne and I were just up at Boyne Mountain Resort a couple of weeks ago, checking out the property, making all the final details for our annual lending conference. If you haven't marked your calendar yet, it's August 14th through the 16th up in Boyne Falls. Super excited for this year's event. And let me kind of give you like an outline of what we've got planned so far. Wednesday, we're going to kick things off that evening. We're going to have an outdoor reception and dinner. We certainly know that this is a resort that a lot of folks may be bringing some family members along to. So we're going to be doing some fun events outside. We are going to be offering discounted tickets to go up to that sky bridge. Our theme is Bridge to Success. When I was up there, I wasn't able to make it up there yet. They hadn't opened it, but we're going to be giving some discounted tickets opportunities for folks that do want to ride up to the top and go see that bridge on Wednesday evening. Hopefully we'll catch a sunset up there, a good little photo op for everyone. Really, the thick of
Sounds
everything is
lovely.
going to be on Thursday. We'll start things off with breakfast. We have our MMLA president who will opening things up with me. We have some pretty fantastic speakers that I'm really excited about. We wanted to change things up a little bit this year and bring some new faces. And, coming off the heels of L1 Summit, I tapped onto one of my friends. It's funny, Rewire Inc. has participated in Lenders One executive roundtables as well as our summits. And I will tell you what, Jason Abel, my friend, the president over there, had one of the toughest spots of our conference. It was the last day, afternoon, right before drinks, right? Everyone's tired. And his session on executive mindset or executive leadership and mindset coaching was jam packed, right? And I was like, man, this guy's got us up and moving. We're having discussions. There's some activities. He brought some folks up to the front of the room. It was really impactful. And then when I checked all the rankings, it was the highest rated session of our conference. So I was like, no brainer. We have got to bring Rewire Inc. to the MMLA. So we're going to have Jason Abel. He's the president of Rewire Inc. joining us for an hour session. He will keep us up and moving, engaged, more like a workshop. So super excited to have him. He'll be sending a video out to everyone soon to kind of share a little couple teasers as well as a little trivia question for you guys. We'll also have Tony Thompson, a really good friend of mine. He is the founder of NAMBA. Joanne and our crew that got to see him at the National Advocacy Conference in DC were super wowed. He got a standing O. So I reached out to Tony. He's all in. He will be joining us to talk a little bit about really different generations as well as different markets. So talking about different demographics, really thinking about, are you tapping into all those markets that you should be? Some nuances to different generations. So he will certainly have an impactful session for us as well. We're also going to have Tanya Kuhn from MISHDA joining us. So always a good opportunity to see what's going on within our great state of Michigan. And then we also have invitations out to Mark Jones and Bob Brokesmith at the Mortgage Bankers Association. Hoping they'll confirm really, really soon. Mark was there last year. He's a Michigan guy. So they normally wait a little bit closer to events to confirm things. So fingers crossed they'll say yes. I have a good feeling they will. There'll be a couple of vendor spotlights sprinkled throughout the day. So to our vendors who are looking to join us, there are sponsorship opportunities. some opportunities to get on stage in front of our folks. And then that evening, we will have we're going to have a little ice cream social too. So that's going to be super fun on Thursday afternoon. Just a really fun way to end the day, kind of social networking opportunities. And then Thursday evening, we will have our president's dinner and reception. I know that we took a look at the menu. It's going to be nice. It's going to be kind of a strolling dinner. It'll be super duper fun. So early bird, I know that we already missed and closed. We had super early bird registration for about 7 days. We're off to a really good start. Rooms are filling up fast. If you're not ready to make your registration, make sure you reserve your room. I have a feeling we may sell out. If we do, we're going to try to add some more. But we do have early bird pricing through July. So if you're a member, less than $500 to attend. I go to a ton of these events all across the industry. I tell you what, I think for our agenda and what we pack in for the price, it's certainly a good value. You're paying double, if not triple, at some other industry events. So I'm super excited. There's going to be lots of new faces, tons of familiar faces, as always. One thing that I'm super excited about too is our friend Rob Chrisman. Everyone knows him. He's coming back this year. He's going to be moderating an executive kind of panel discussion. We're going to have a representative from an IMB, a large bank, a community bank, as well as a credit union, talking about the challenges they're facing this year, what things they're looking to make changes on,
Sure.
what's been impactful in this crazy market that we're in, and just more of a thought leadership discussion. So shout out to our friend Rob. He'll be there in the back of the room when he's not on stage for the entire event.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we have an amazing lineup for the event. And I know I'm scheduled and ready to go. I'm planning on being there, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so it really sounds like the people we already have signed up to come in and speak are already top notch, but we have a few others that we're hoping to get. So we'll hopefully hear from them soon and be able to mark them down on the lineup as well. But as far as the actual event goes, Jen, I think it's important for us to try and tell people what's the value that people can get from the event, right? I think that's ultimately where people are trying to, right now, people are spending their marketing dollars or being very careful about spending those marketing dollars. And so the biggest thing that everyone's trying to look for is what value am I getting out of this, right? And you and I know what value we get out of it because we've been members for a long time. But maybe someone who's never gone to an event or never been a part of the MMLA, give me your best idea of what value comes from specifically going to the annual lending conference.
Listen, I go to a lot of different state events. I will tell you, in my opinion, Michigan does it the best. It is really, we are in Michigan and in the Midwest, we are just nice folks who are willing to have open and honest discussions and collaborate with one another. I never have left an MMLA event with not having actionable takeaways and not have made some new connections. Our conference committee will be there to help folks if they're a first time attendee. It's definitely worth your time. I think in hearing from, C-suite executives, seeing what they're doing as organizations, you can bring back some ideas to your teams, right? Everyone can participate and benefit from mindset training and executive coaching, right? I think even if you don't have a C in your title or a V, right? You can always benefit from leadership training. Jason's going to be in fantastic. I think everyone's always looking at new opportunities too. I think Tony will bring some perspectives that folks maybe haven't heard about. He's got some great stats to back things up. I know that our friends from the MBA are tentative. I think that was one of the highest sessions that we had rated last year was Bill Cosgrove and Mark Jones. I think just to hear directly from the folks that are fighting the good fight on the Hill for us. And, if Bob Spokesman is able to join, he's in all those conversations. He knows what's coming next and he's always forthright with information. So, whether it's making new connections, learning something new, or bringing back real things that you can implement into your day to day or within your organization, it's a no brainer, right? For $4.99, I think it's definitely worth it. I know times are tough, but if you're going to invest $500, I think this is where you should do it personally. Um, I think I've only missed maybe one MMLA annual London conference. And when I did, I had serious FOMO. So don't have FOMO. Join us. I promise it will be worth it.
Well, I'm signed up, and this will be my third. So like I said, I was kind of loosely associated before and started, getting more involved in the past few years. So this will be my third London conference that I'll be attending. So I'm looking forward to it. And I appreciate you talking about your perspective from it because, from the loan officer side of things, we had a conversation at the state meeting earlier this year about like what value does it bring to a loan officer or whatever, because a lot of this stuff is kind of geared towards managerial
Yeah.
roles and whatnot. But I think those things, they cross over the lines, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of information in the way that we go about treating our businesses that a loan officer can implement into their business or their specific brand that also align with what we're teaching. So I know for me, it's kind of been you get out of something what you put into it, right? So I know that when I go to these conferences, I'm trying to learn as much as I can from the speakers, and I'm trying to meet as many people as I can and network. That's the other piece of it, right? Is you're not just coming here for information. We're also networking and getting to know other individuals, people of recognition and of power. Like I would say for me, getting to meet some of the people that I have would only happen through the MMLA, right? So it's been a great experience for me as an LO, and it only continues to open more doors. So if you're a loan officer, I'd love to see you there. Jen would love to see you there. But anyone else too in the mortgage industry or vendors, we would love to have you at the annual lending conference.
Steve, I couldn't have said it better. I think any association or, committee or group that you're a part of, you get out what you put in. So, if you haven't gotten involved yet, here's your opportunity. I think, whether it's connecting with other sales folks, operations folks, some big names in the industry that maybe you've never had the opportunity to meet in person, it's an experience, right? Joanne and I have a couple surprises along the way too, so we'll have some that we'll be sharing with the folks that are joining us. So I think another thing about the Michigan Mortgage Lenders Association events is that everyone sticks together, right? I've been to other events where you hang out for the conference and then at night you're kind of on your own. Listen, new friends, new connections, new business, like it all goes together, right? I think one thing I've learned along the way in this business is that, relationships first, business second. I feel like if you make those connections and if you're a genuine person and people, dig what you're all about, they're more likely to do business with you down the line. So I am one that I invest heavily in the Michigan Mortgage Lenders Association. I invest heavily in my relationships and it pays off for me. So I'm super excited to see you in Boyd Mountain. There's going to be a lot of us and a lot of new faces. So it should be a blast. I think it'll be informative. I think it'll be worth the investment. And if you don't come home, with some new friends and some new buddies and some new things to think about, you didn't do something right while you were with us in Boyd Mountain. It's certain to happen.
Yeah, and I think that one thing I will say too is that everyone seems to be pretty open and inclusive and inviting new people in and saying, hey, haven't seen you at an event. Come hang out with us or we'll introduce ourselves to them. So I think that's super important and we do a really good job, of that with the MMLA. Now, before we go here, part of, doing this podcast or whatever, I want to leave everyone or every episode with a nugget that you can tell everyone because the industry has been so down for so long. Give us your most positive spin on 2024 and beyond in the mortgage industry.
I think I've been in this industry for over 20 years, right? I've been through 2008s, right? I've been through the 2018s, right? We're in the 2024s. This too shall pass. Along the way, take care of yourself, take care of your relationships, and don't let anyone dull your sparkle, right? You might get a lot of no's, right? That's part of the sales business, right? I don't let a no get me down. It's all right, on to the next thing, right? Um, the strong will weather the storm. And I think if you're in the mortgage business right now and you've been through the ringer, right? It's really, I think, going to be up from here. I'm seeing and hearing from my clients from all over the country that things are looking up. Right now, I think it's all about grit and perseverance and positivity. So do your best, take care of you, and take care of one another.
Great words. I appreciate that. I just want to say how thankful I am, Jen, for you, being a part of the first official, MMLA podcast, again, named to come from here. Thank you for your wise words, taking the time, and also for setting up the amazing conference that we're looking forward to. So please connect with us if you, are interested in learning more about the MMLA. But once again, thank you, Jen. Thank you, Lenders One, for what you do for the MMLA as well. And looking forward to bringing more speakers and people within the MMLA to this podcast.
Steve, I'm so grateful for the invite to kick things off with you. I'm grateful for your friendship. And thank you for everything. Let us know about the MMLA or Boyne Mountain or anything. And
yeah, thanks. We'll see you, Jen. Have a great one.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.